Hello my friends and welcome back to the rabbit hole. In today's video we are going to be living up to the name rabbit hole. I've got a lot on my mind on this particular day. And if you follow me on Instagram, you might even know where today's video is going to be going. I did want to open this video by letting you guys know we are all a-okay, me and my partner and everybody else that I know actually. So thank you for the good vibes, really appreciate it. I'm actually shocked how many of you reached out to me. Like, thank you so much. You guys are amazing. So today's video is just gonna be kind of a casual video. I'm putting on makeup, honestly, because I don't have any on yet, but I have all of this on my mind. So I wanna go ahead and film, but I'm gonna do this kind of the no brand style that Jay Kissa has done. She actually did a follow-up to this. I hope this picks up. I kind of really like the no brand videos because just occasionally I want a little bit of a break of products being sold to me, and I thought maybe you guys might too. That said, I'm not putting a ton of effort into hiding what I'm using, so if you're able to figure it out, cool. I just really want to talk about everything that's on my mind. So to start off this video, backstory. I've been on a little bit of a vacation for 2 weeks at this point? Yeah, 2 weeks. Not really so much intentionally. The first week was, the second week wasn't. But yeah, hopefully you guys only felt 1 week of that because I actually did the pre-filming thing like a good YouTuber. So it's ended up being 2 weeks of me not really having quite a good enough internet connection to watch YouTube videos, which is of course my favorite form of social media. I've talked kind of a lot about how I'm not very good at Instagram, and even if I was good at it, I don't really love it. I think my problem with Instagram in particular is that I've been on the platform long enough to remember what it used to be, and that's always a dangerous situation. I remember old Instagram, and it is nothing like what it is now. I mean, years ago, it was a place for friends. It was where you would take pictures of your lunch, set it to the X Pro filter, and then all of your friends would see it and think, hey, you know what? Shrimp dinner actually sounds really good. I think what happened with Instagram is that they realized the advertising potential pretty quickly, because basically, if you can advertise shrimp dinner to your friends, you can advertise anything. And so this new Instagram that we have now, you don't even really see your friends. You see people that you didn't even want to be following just showing up in your home feed. It's not the personalized experience that I remember. I'm not even following the Kardashian family. Why am I seeing photos of Kylie Jenner? And more importantly, why am I so used to seeing photos of Kylie Jenner that now I'm deciding, oh yes, that's actually quite a cute outfit on her today? When did I start caring about this? And that's the exact reason why I started to get really frustrated with Instagram. You're succeeding in making me care about things I don't, but I gotta stay one step ahead. I really don't care. And at this point, I've said this so many times, but it's not that I don't care because I'm trying to be mean or nasty. It's that I don't live Kylie Jenner's life. I'm not a Kardashian, and I don't want to, get to the point where I'm caring and relating about that and trying to replicate that, because that's the thing about the way that I see the world. I think that we all eventually try to do or try to act the way that we see others act. And if I'm trying to replicate the actions of a billionaire, I'm not going to be very happy, am I? But is it good for commercial purposes? Yeah, absolutely. And I'm quite sure that's why we do see the Kardashians, even if we don't follow them. So, ultimately, the point of Instagram is this advertising-friendly system. And no matter how much they try to pretend that they're doing something for the way that this is damaging people psychologically, what was that likes thing? They tried to make it so you couldn't see likes? Yeah, Instagram, right. I realize how ironic it is that I still use Instagram, but we will come back around to that soon. So what started this entire thought process in my head that's now leading to this video is that foundation release by Dose of Colors. Now, if you didn't already see my picture, I guess I'll link it below in the description box, but it's pretty bad. Dose of Colors released a foundation. What am I doing? I keep getting distracted with this. Dose of Colors released a foundation, and their before and after pictures are some of the most edited and painful. They're actually just painful images to look at, but they're only they're only kind of funny. The reason they're funny is because of how obvious the Photoshop is. My problem with it is, do people actually see that these are Photoshopped, or are there people who are still out there thinking, wow, do I need to buy this foundation? And then all of a sudden, I have absolutely no folds under my eyes, which are completely normal. I have absolutely no depth to my face. I mean, what were they thinking putting those images up? So I guess best case scenario, you have these really embarrassing Photoshop photos that you could laugh at, or you could actually believe it, buy this foundation and be incredibly disappointed when your face still looks like a human being after using it. This situation reminds me a lot of the mascara commercials that used to use, or still use the falsies in their commercials while they're selling you a mascara. Now they are, of course, required to state in fine print at the bottom that the lashes are false lashes were used, or however they describe it. I mean, being me, you know I combed this website to see if there was any such disclaimer on this foundation, and there isn't. And I really don't understand how on earth there isn't. I mean, is your claim that people are expected to expect Photoshop? Is this really the world we're living in? I don't think that that should be the case for something like foundation or skincare products or anything like that. But even with those mascara commercials, that little disclaimer didn't always appear there. It actually had to be put into an order by the NAD telling the brands you need to do this. So basically, that is argument number one of this entire video, is the National Advertising Division has got to step in, apparently, because beauty brands aren't gonna do it, and tell these brands, hey, you need to be disclosing. It needs to be made very clear that using your foundation is not going to give the results shown on the models. But obviously that's not the extent of this video. I wouldn't have opened with talking about Instagram if it was, because I've been thinking about a bigger problem in all of this. And to get into this topic, I'm actually gonna go ahead and touch on MLMs, even though I don't really like to. I'm going to do it. Ooh, I don't like talking about MLMs. This portion may upset anybody who is part of an MLM, but I gotta say it. Aside from the fact that MLMs themselves are a giant scam, and we all know they're a giant scam, the reason why MLMs are able to succeed and sell lotions and potions to people is their structure. So what happens is an MLM, and we're gonna take the example of an essential oil company, we have to do that one. So this essential oils MLM exists. They have these distributors under them who are just regular people who are not going to get rich off of it, even though that's what they tell them. And here's the thing about essential oils, and we've talked kind of a lot about this on this channel. Essential oils are potentially helpful for some people, but they can also be really, really dangerous, especially depending on the dosage, which is why I don't even own any essential oils in my household at greater than a 10% concentration. They are intense, especially if you have pets. This is not a joke. This is very serious. But again, these MLM corporations have all of these distributors under them, and the distributors are just people running an Instagram, running a Facebook most likely, and they go on their Facebook page trying to get people to buy these essential oils off of them, and they make claims that are simply not true. I know you guys know exactly what I'm talking about. They like to tell you that essential oils can cure absolutely any ailment that you have. Just come to them and buy their essential oils, and yeah, you know, oh, the claims they make. The reason I don't even want to repeat them is because they're so ridiculous, and I don't want anybody to even have the slightest illusion that essential oils cure things, because they don't. So, you know, this girl you went to high school with tells you, oh, this'll cure all your ailments. You buy that from her, and it doesn't cure it, right? So you go to the corporation, you say, hey, this girl that sells your products told me that this would cure it, and it didn't. Why didn't it work? Now, the loophole here is that the corporation is not responsible for what those people claim. That's all a rough example, I know, but the reason I'm saying all that is because I think this is going on with beauty brands and influencers and Photoshop. I have a friend who had posted an eyeshadow look that she did replicating another influencer's, and I guess she was a bit dismayed. She didn't feel like the colors had come out as bright as the influencers' photos, and I just looked at this picture for a few minutes and I'm like, no, it actually is every bit as bright. The difference is the influencer had used some kind of a filter to make the colors pop more. She had used the same eyeshadow palette and everything, and she was, contemplating, well, I wonder what I did wrong. I must just not be as good at eyeshadow. And that's what saddens me so much, is she's every bit as good. She just didn't Photoshop it. The difference between what that eyeshadow palette looks like in real life and the way that influencer was portraying that it looks are significant. I've personally thought this is an issue for a long time. I know a lot of beauty gurus are known to have filters in their videos, and it becomes a situation of, well, how can you trust their foundation review when they're all zoomed in up close, but the foundation looks perfect, even though they're like, oh, look, you can see all my pores. No, we can't. So which is the truth? The whole point that I'm trying to make, and hopefully I'm making this fairly clear, is that we have a problem of the way that things are being portrayed online, both through influencers and through beauty brands, versus the reality of using the products themselves. It always comes back to, well, it's on the customer to know what is reality and what isn't. But again, I really do think that there's a conscious processing level and a subconscious processing level. And even if you consciously are aware that there's some amount of filtering going on, I do think that there's some kind of a subconscious effect on how you're seeing things. At the very least, we have all kinds of studies showing that people look at pretty images longer. So the more somebody has face-tuned their face to that symmetrical ideal, the more that things look perfect, the longer we look, and therefore the better the ultimate advertising is. I tend to think that one of the core problems with all of this is that there's no accountability. There's absolutely no accountability for people being honest, especially influencers being honest about how a product actually looks on the skin. Instead, there's only incentive in the form of affiliate links, which is ultimately not a bad thing if, and only if, people are honest. Unfortunately, it just seems like a lot of people can't seem to do this simple thing of being honest. I really don't get it. All you have to do is step out in the real world and you can clearly see that people don't look like they do on Instagram. So it kind of makes you wonder why all of this is so far on the back burner then, and I think it's just, again, this situation of all of this is too new. The internet is too new, Instagram is too new, there's no time for there to have been laws passed or requirements made as far as how advertising should work on such new platforms. So obviously that is point number 2, is I want to figure out a way for this to be all the way down to the influencer level. I think we need to figure out what exactly is a form of advertising in 2019, and it needs to be held to the same level of accountability. Now, worth noting, there is more accountability going on in the United Kingdom, and it's been met with kind of mixed responses and kind of mixed results too. I do think they went too far with the elimination of memes or the copyright status of memes, whatever that is. And yet I still wholeheartedly do agree with bloggers having to disclose PR. That's another thing I'm frustrated with. And if you go on Instagram, y'all will notice nobody discloses their PR. And so what happens is if you are a person that discloses your PR, people actually think you're bragging instead of, following the law. So what can we do, right? I really wish that I could tell you I had actual answers, but yeah, I don't. I'm way too tiny of a channel to actually have massive influence, but that's it. It's something I really wanted to put out there and just kind of, spark discussion about, get you guys thinking about. So of course, please leave a comment. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know if this is stuff that you guys have been thinking about too. I just refuse to believe I'm the only one who has thought about these things. Alright guys, that is all I have for today's video. Please let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Please, especially if any of you have any better suggestions on solutions. We love solutions. Please make sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time.